Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Beautiful day in Bali. Sending lots of love. So today we're going to talk about polarity. So what's polarity, Tara?
Polarity is very, very important, especially in romantic relationships. And it's where one person in the relationship is holding one pole, so it's either masculine or feminine, and the other person is holding the other pole. And just like a battery, the negative and the positive is what needs to come together for a battery to work and to have power.
Be charged.
And it's the same in relationships.
So, masculine, feminine, batteries, power! And often this chemistry is alive at the beginning of relationships, and then it slowly dwindles because, not just because the honeymoon period has expired, but because the unconscious self, which is opposite to our gender. So for a woman, the masculine is more unconscious, the contrasexual self. For a man, the feminine is more unconscious. And if you don't know how to navigate these energies, which we're not going to go too far into, then you end up losing polarity. But tip for beginners. So just say Tara's she's in a male body, and we really just need a man in a male body.
We do.
Well, Farage though, Romeo. Well, Farage though.
Sounds like you need a man here. Are you talking about being claimed?
Yes.
So brothers, men, women are longing to be claimed, to be held. This supports this polarity, allowing her to be in her radiant feminine, allowing us as men to be in our strong, centered, focused, clear masculine. Now that doesn't mean you're there all of the time, because of course there's life, but that just means to keep aliveness and sexual chemistry alive. She wants to feel your power. She wants to feel that part of her that fully surrenders when you're there, because you know and she knows, hey, I've got this. And when she can feel that, everything else can melt.
And it comes so easily in the beginning of relationships. Women find it a lot easier to surrender and to be in their playful feminine, and the man's claiming his woman and holding. So I'd love to hear what your tips are for maintaining that.
So first of all, like I touched on the contrasexual self, it's like my masculine and his feminine need to be mature enough that in the times that we go into them, we're not just dropping into their wounding, that they're mature enough to be able to express. So, for polarity to happen, like Aaron said, he doesn't have to be in his masculine all the time, but pretty much 80% of the time, if that sexual chemistry is going to stay alive. So I need to kind of, when I'm relating to him, consciously go into a more soft, receptive energy. And what do you need to do?
So I need to go into a bit more of a strong, penetrative energy. And now see the caveat, I'm sure many of you who are listening to this right now are at home, and you might be with a partner, and you might be working together, and you might be spending your days together. And it's easy inside of that, especially right now, for the polarity to just dwindle away. And I can speak of that within myself. It takes a very conscientious effort to create time and space where polarity can happen deeper. And Raven is a very strong, powerful, woman, but a very strong, powerful masculine as well. And so in our conversations, and really any time that our energy isn't perfect, it requires to have deeper clarity around where polarity can come alive and blossom back into the place where I'm more in my masculine and she's more in her feminine. And from that space, whether it's an allocated time, so have a conversation with your partner. Have a conversation with your loved one to say, hey, I want our relationship, I want our time to really blossom more. What can that look like? Maybe we want to stop working at 6, or You know, when we're working, we're really just more separate, and then we're going into that polarity to bring the romance back alive. It's really important.
And it really is a conscious decision and follow up with action to take. And so for Antosh and I, we live together, we work together, and we work pretty long hours. And it's really been, it's almost like setting an alarm, going, okay, we're going to finish work at 7:30, and then consciously go into our polarities of me and my feminine and Antosh and his masculine. Because I'm the same with Raven, with work, it's like I'm in my masculine and poof, on action. And so it's every day making that choice of like, oh, okay, I'm out of that work zone now, and whatever that is for you, now I'm going to move into my feminine, and maybe you can put on some music. I love to have a shower. That's the way that I come into my feminine. Clean, put on some beautiful clothes, some music, and that really helps me drop into my feminine.
And you know, if you're a man and you're going, well, how do I be in my masculine? It's like, make suggestions to her, direct things, you know, kiss her, give her affection. And it's like this energy of, yeah, I've got you. And every woman, no matter how independent she is, she longs to be taken care of. And, you know, men long to be nurtured. So, you know, for women, if we can bring our radiance and our sensuality and our movement and appreciation of beauty. And as men, if you can go, okay, so, you know, I'm captaining this ship, you know, where am I steering it? And guiding things, and the more that polarity is alive, then the more open and juicy a woman's going to be, and the more permission a man has to really take her.
And the key for the men listening is, it's not like I've got this and it's this penetrative power that's not connected to the heart. It has to be connected to the heart, because if it's just like I got this and it's a bulldozing effect, then the woman sees right through it and she's like, that's bullshit.
And it can be perceived as control.
Exactly, yeah. And so it's a navigating kind of dancing line that requires the being sometimes uncomfortable. It's not always perfect. Sometimes it's a little messy, and that requires a willingness within both partners to find out, how can we return to love here, and how can we return into the space where polarity is alive, and we can feel each other and say, this is what I long for, and this is what my body needs, this is what her body needs, and this is what actually lets our love flourish more.
And what Aaron was saying earlier, like, if it's not the perfect conversation, look at polarity. He didn't mean like conversations have to be perfect, but you know, in those situations where you're like, I can't believe they just spoke to me like that, or yeah, there is an imperfection, the other person is showing their humanness. We can either go into battles of right and wrong and, you know, point out the other person's flaws, or we can notice, okay, things aren't going the way that I want. Where could I bring in polarity right now? And really, it's like the woman holds the pole of being the experiencer and more of the expressor of the emotional body, whereas the man holds more of the witness and space holder. So this isn't to say that a man should ever put up with like badgering and name calling and out of control behavior, but just to listen to her with presence, feel what she's saying, and the art of listening. And this is absolutely key. When Aaron just listens to me, polarity resumes like that. And the art of listening is being able to listen, as Aaron said, with the heart, because the mind is always divided. And if you're listening with the mind, it's going, she said that, but what about this time? But that's wrong, and I need to defend this and explain. And I think there's nothing sexier or more beautiful to surrender to than a man who can just listen, stay present, and connect with that stillness of the divine masculine that's connected this way. And really, unless a man has that, for me, it's like I can't be in relationship. So it's this beautiful space of the song of the feminine, the song of Tantra, is very much dependent upon the listener. So the deeper that Aaron listens in lovemaking, in conversation, then the more he's going to receive my authentic song. So it's not just about listening and putting up with shit, it's about listening, feeling her heart, and inspiring the deeper song of joy and happiness and pleasure that you're actually wanting from her through that listening.
And it's beautiful to have a conversation around this as well. And certainly for Antosh and I've asked him, what do you love about when I'm in my feminine? And then he shares all the things that he loves. And he loves the way that I nurture him, the way that I pour love and affection on him, when I'm sexy and owning my sensuality, when I'm in my joy. And then from that I can go, okay, I'm going to cool those things in and amp them up a bit when I'm switching from my masculine to my feminine. And then the same goes the other way. And he says to me, what do you love about when I'm in my masculine? And I love how solid he is and how still and present he can be with me. I love when he comes up with ideas and then directs a day around that. So it's beautiful to share with each other as well, and to really feel each other in what they love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I want to clarify something. We're not saying like spend your life switching between these. Like you can have, she's got a very strong masculine and feminine, and so do I, and so does Aaron. But when it comes to relating to your beloved, the difference between a friendship or like mother-daughter relationship or brother-sister, all of the relationships out there in a beloved relationship, is this thing called chemistry and passion. And in order to maintain that, we sometimes need to consciously switch and hold a lot of awareness around this polarity of the singer and the listener, and remembering that the quality of the song is dependent upon the quality of the listener, right? So that's such a beautiful way for me to always remember. And you know, it goes for me too. If my song, if my expression is coming from my masculine, from my divided mind, or explosive all over him and telling him what a shit he is and how hopeless he is, of course I'm not gonna get the listening that I need. So it goes both ways. Can the woman really feel the song that is vibrating from her heart and her body, both when she's in pleasure and pain, without the divided mind? Can the man deeply listen and come into presence without the divided mind? And in this space of communion, polarity is formed, and the communion is, it's like that community, communal song, communion of the two poles, which brings this heart-centered dance that has, amazing chemistry that you can maintain. So
give it a go.
Yeah.
Polarity has completely shifted my relationship dynamics, and especially when it comes to like deep intimacy and passion and chemistry. Mm-hmm. So give it a go.
So deep listening keeps our juices flowing. This is what I've heard.
And surprises.
Yeah.
If you feel like this is a big piece for you and you're wanting to know more, Relationship Tantra, our 8-week online course, goes into a lot more depth, and we're having 50% off at the moment. So check that out as well. And we love you. Blessings from Bali.
See you.